Hey, it's June 1st. Happy Parental Rights Month. Yes, on June 1st, 100 years ago, the Supreme Court, in a decision called Pierce versus the Society of Sisters, affirmed the fundamental right of parents to direct their children's education. That truth remains the cornerstone, of Moms for Liberty. Today, it is our mission, and we think it is a mission still worthy of celebration, and that's what we're going to do. Today in America, we are in the midst of a struggle. It was 100 years ago that a Democratic progressive governor attempted to force parents to send their kids to a public school. These parents wanted to homeschool their kids. And the Supreme Court came down on the side of parents and said these famous words: "The child is not the mere creature of the state." Children don't belong to the state. Children attend schools. They do not belong to schools. Schools are not a safe space from loving parents. To treat all parents in America like they're abusers, to presume that they are unsafe, to tell children in classrooms, elementary, middle, high school, that find a trusted adult. Not go talk to your parents. No, a trusted adult, and often referring to themselves as a trusted adult and implying their parents aren't to be trusted. In Wisconsin, we had this egregious situation where in Eau Claire, in a professional development session with educators, a DEI instructor told the teachers that parents aren't entitled to know their child's identity, their gender identity. That parents had to earn that right. They proceeded to put up posters all over. If your parents aren't affirming of your new transgender identity, I'm your mom now. That's frankly, in my opinion, evil and wrong and undermines parents, and it is so wrong for state employees, for government employees, teachers, educators, whatever, counselors, to try to create a wedge between a parent and a child. Now, this is not the majority of teachers. It is a very small minority. The majority of teachers want nothing to do with this, whether they are progressive, conservative, what have you. And we know the majority of teachers, they align with Democrats. They're more progressive. Even so, they are not down for this gender insanity. I think many go along with it, or they think that they're doing something good. They're creating a space of belonging. That's what they like to say. So recognize that it's usually only a few radical activists in a school district. Although if you're in Madison or in a major big city, pretty much a lot of radical activists. But for the most part, across the state, most people are normal. They just want to do their job. They don't want to brainwash children. But because there are a few that view recruiting kids to gender ideology as their mission in life, unfortunately, we have a lot of struggles going on in American education today. And, wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be just so awesome if we could just tackle the big issues in education, like our low reading proficiency scores and our increasingly declining math proficiency scores? Wouldn't it be great if America wasn't known as a place where woke thrives and we want to read books like The Hips on the Drag Queen Go Swish, Swish, Swish to little kids, Wouldn't it be great if America was known as the leader in awesome STEM programs in kindergarten and not the leader in providing junk science and brightly colored books that teach kids that they can refer to themselves as Z and Zer, and that they can use pronouns like tree and tree self. Those are actual books, okay? Call Me Tree. That's an actual book recommended by the Wisconsin Department of Instruction. Pride Puppy is a book that was in California schools, Maryland schools, Illinois schools. Princess Boy. There's so many. Me and My Gender Dysphoria, another book. So listen, this is happening, and just you don't need to just take my word for it. I wasn't going to do this because I was going to make this a lot shorter. Okay. But if I say all this stuff, you know what there's going to be? There's going to be some post. I just thought one today because I had an interview with Fox News and Rachel Duffy, who is so awesome. She is amazing. I love you, Rachel. If you ever want me to come on again, just let me know. Under that interview that was posted on Fox News, all of these comments like things that never happened. I am a joyful warrior, but I'm like, dude, how many times do I have to post the images? How many times do I have to post the curriculum? And then these people are like, oh, things that never happened. Come on. All right. So to those who will say things that never happened. In My Daddy's Belly. There you go. Here's a book for kids, a true life inspired book that follows the excitement and joy that two dads have for their anticipated arrival of their new baby. Notice how they have couples, Muslim couples, as if Islam is known for celebrating a man having a baby and the belief that men can get pregnant and support for transgender families. I mean, it's like, come on. Here's one. Me and My Dysphoria Monster. Recommended book. These are books recommended by the Human Rights Campaign. Recommended by GLSEN, GLSEN, the acronym. Recommended by all sorts of organizations that advocate for transgender and gender ideology, topics to be taught in schools. So here's what are some other books. The ABCs of Gender Identity. So you think I'm making this up? These are books. These are books that were recommended for Transgender Day of Visibility. Okay. These are books that were recommended. So Transgender Day of Visibility is in March. Then there is there usually in April, there's also a week of reading diverse gender identity related topics. There's always some celebration. And books like this, of course, will run wild during Pride Month. Now, there are many that would say, oh, Pride is the celebration of lesbian and gay Americans and couples and a chance to show that America is tolerant. But that's not what it's about anymore. Pride is about all this new flag that has all these like different colors. Pride is about gender ideology, the denial of reality, the forcing Americans to accept and affirm, celebrate, and participate in nonsense that men can become women, women can become men. Kids can identify as rocks and call themselves rock self. I mean, it gets crazy. Other books, The Rainbow Village, the Everybody book, which it has concepts that are it's for young kids they're controversial topics that are not age appropriate in that book. Let me see. The Story of Trans Women of Color. These are all books for little children in elementary school. GSA clubs, the rainbows, the safe space stickers, all of the things that are in elementary schools, middle schools. Again, elementary schools and middle schools, you can see. And neopronouns, rock self, tree self, what else? The other, vampire self, fox self, hottie self. I'm going to end with this image. Small children participating in what I would call a struggle session. Forced to watch YouTube videos, read books like What Are Your Words, where they learn about identifying as non-binary, as transgender, changing name, using different pronouns. And then after reading a book, to get in a circle with a teacher and to try on some new pronouns, try on a different name, take on a different identity. And then in doing so, they are celebrated. All done with 6-year-olds without parental knowledge or consent. This is why we fight in Moms for Liberty. This is what we're up against. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I began this talking about June 1st, 2025, Pierce versus Society of Sisters. 100 years ago, Justice McReynolds affirmed God-given parental rights. 100 years ago, a progressive Democrat governor tried to force every parent in Oregon to send their child to a public school. 100 years later, progressive governors and school boards and state leaders and congressmen and senators are trying to force something on parents that they don't want. Force parents into a worldview that they don't agree with. Moms for Liberty is fighting back. We have over 300 chapters in 48 states, 130,000 members, and we're not going to take it anymore. So we have been working really hard for the last 5 years to win school board seats, to affect change, to operate under the motto that sunlight is the best disinfectant. Sometimes all we can do is expose what's happening and try to affect change. Wake parents up, provide them with solutions, provide them with training. We have state legislative committees now, and we are working to affect change at even a higher level. We support President Trump. He is standing up for parental rights, and Moms for Liberty is standing right with him. So, you know what? There are some tough things. There's some tough things we have to deal with. But today on June 1st, let's celebrate. Let's celebrate parental rights. Let's celebrate our families. Let's love on our kids. Let's tune out a lot of disturbing images, which we are likely going to see. And let's provide an alternate worldview for our country. With over 4.5 years of unwavering commitment from a few brave moms to a national movement, a huge grassroots movement, we've witnessed extraordinary growth powered by parents and patriots determined to defend liberty by unifying, educating, and empowering parents in their community. Countless wins. Some you've heard of, some you'll never hear of, because lots of times the most important work we do behind the scenes. Sometimes we're shining a light on curriculum to defeat harmful policies. Sometimes we flip school board seats. Sometimes we don't win a school board seat. And then, like, I didn't win my school board seat, but I didn't stop. I kept going. And there are so many more moms just like me. Every victory is earned by everyday heroes. When they say not all heroes wear capes, it's true. Some heroes just wear Moms for Liberty t-shirts. Like this one. This movement stands on the shoulders of giants. I stand on the shoulder of giants. And I am grateful. I'm really grateful for all of my friends and supporters and allies. And I thank them all right now. We at Moms for Liberty thank all freedom-loving citizens who have stepped up to unify, educate, and empower everyday Americans. Because you know who's going to save this country? You are. You are going to save this country. Normal people are going to save this country. Regular people are going to save this country. Don't need to wait around for someone to save you. You are the one you've been waiting for. Happy June 1st. Happy Parental Rights Month. Have a great Sunday.